Good afternoon. I'm Carol Musil, Dean of the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you, students, faculty, families, and friends, to our pinning ceremony. I want to personally congratulate the graduates. They have studied extensively, completed clinical rotations, participated in extracurricular activities and student leadership roles, balanced jobs and family obligations, and for the past year, endured all of the challenges of a major pandemic. You are an inspiration to all of us. Also, a tremendous thank you to families, partners, and friends for your unwavering support of these graduates throughout their time here. You were instrumental to their many achievements. FPB and its Alumni Association traces its roots to Lakeside Hospital Training School for Nurses and its first graduating class in 1901. I believe that FPB has the deepest and richest heritage of alumni dedication, accomplishment, and service to the nursing profession in our nation. Our current global reach extends to more than 9,000 alumni in over 50 countries. Alumni are the legacy of the FPB School of Nursing. Thank you for all that you do and for your support of our students, scholarship awards, and program initiatives at FPB. This afternoon, we come together to induct these soon-to-be graduates into the FPB School of Nursing Alumni Association. We do so by bestowing the FPB Nursing Pin, a time-honored tradition of the nursing profession. I am wearing the pin my mother-in-law was given when she received her MN from FPB quite a few years ago, and the pin guard is mine. I would now like to introduce Dr. Mary Joy Garcia-Dia, this year's recipient of the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing Alumni Association Award for Excellence. As president of the Philippine Nurses Association of America, Dr. Garcia-Dia has rallied her members to raise their voices, to tell their stories about resilience and empowerment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. Garcia-Dia is the Program Director for Nursing Informatics in the Information Technology Department and the Center for Professional Nursing Practice at New York Presbyterian Hospital. For the last 8 years, she has served as an advisor for the Philippine Nurses Association of America's Human Rights Committee on matters involving unfair labor practice. She also serves on the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Steering Committee for the Future of Nursing Campaign for Action, a joint initiative of the AARP and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation.
Hello, everyone. It is a great honor to join your pinning ceremony today, a time-honored tradition that symbolizes educational achievement. I remember the excitement, pride, and sense of accomplishment in watching my classmates who brought their spouses, children, siblings, parents, and significant others during our pinning ceremony in 2015. As I compare that moment to where we are today, I can only assume that all of us can agree on one thing. We all experience a deep sense of relief that we finally made it. Yes, I have the same mixed emotions of joy, pride, and anxiety during my pinning ceremony. How did I overcome my anxiety and the critical question that all of us ask right after graduation? What is next? First, allow me to walk us through memory lane. Do you remember your first day of school? For me, my first day of school was held 5 days right after Hurricane Sandy hit New York. Due to extreme flooding in the city, major hospitals lost electrical power. Vulnerable patients were transferred to other hospitals that have resources, while staff worked extended long hours, as others are not able to travel. Buses were provided to shuttle nurses and essential workers. Fuel gas were rationed. One of my classmates lost her house to a fire, while another one was water damaged. As the course coordinator, it was remarkable how all of us were able to push through that weekend. For our first assignment on concept analysis, 5 of us decided to focus on resilience, as it resonates with our own lived experience. The definition of resilience is one's ability to cope and bounce back, instilling hope, perseverance, self-efficacy, and grit, kept us together even up to this time. Eric Wrighton said, "We all have battles to fight, and it is often in those battles that we are most alive. It is on the front lines of our lives that we earn wisdom, create joy, forge friendships, discover happiness, find love, and do purposeful work." Looking back, the exercise of concept analysis, research proposals, and publications to amplify our work are the tools that guided me in my professional career and nonprofit work in the community. In 2019, prior to the pandemic, I coined the word SPARK, which stands for Stories of People, Achievement, Resilience, and Kindness. The SPARK theme was rooted in the power of storytelling and to highlight nurses' significant contributions in preparation for the Year of the Nurse. Little did I know that my SPARK theme will take a new meaning when my term officially started in 2020 as the president of the Philippine Nurses Association of America. When the pandemic hit New York in March of 2020, I pivoted quickly and launched the Heal Our Nurses campaign to address the psychological and emotional impact of the pandemic in our community. We designed a resilience training program for our members that can help our nurses recover and support their emotional and mental well-being for the long haul. To date, we have provided over 10,000 masks and face shields, published over 100 short video clips, generating over 55 impressions in social media, highlighting our nurses' experience during the height of the pandemic. FPB's mantra, "to be at the table," helped me obtain grants amounting to over $200,000, focused on Project First Line, improving healthcare access and barriers in Asian American Pacific Islander communities. As I lead my professional association, I have my own moments of doubt, and I relied on the huge wealth of experience from my mentors and FPB alumni who helped me face the battle with courage and compassion. What I can share from my end is that Case Western Reserve University Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing created a program that allowed me to reflect on my purpose, stay innovative, and create meaningful partnerships in the community. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to Dean Musil and the FPB alumni for allowing me to share my story. It is for your own battles and lived experience that you shared in our classroom, grounded in theory and best practice, that inspired many of us to find our own purpose so we can learn, care, and lead. To the class of 2022, I hope this pinning ceremony will bring you joy and pride as you chart your own path to be a resilient and transformational leader. Congratulations!
Thank you, Mary Joy. Your words are truly an inspiration to acknowledge our roles as leaders and advocates of the nursing profession and the population we serve. The nursing pin symbolizes the completion of educational requirements that enable nurses to sit for state licensure examinations or other certification exams and is evidence of advanced preparation in the discipline of nursing. Alumni Association President Erica Chung will now describe its rich history and how this pin signifies the integrity of our school's research and leadership in nursing. She will be followed by Paula Forsyth, past president of the Alumni Association.
Thank you, Dean Musil. The pinning ceremony is a rite of passage in nursing with a long-standing tradition and particularly special meaning for the profession. It is my pleasure to share with everyone the significance of the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing graduation pin. In 1860, Florence Nightingale received the Red Cross of St. George for her tireless service to the injured in the Crimean War. Later, when she organized the first nursing program, she presented a Medal of Excellence to her brightest graduates to share the honor. In 1901, graduation pins were awarded to the first class of nurses who graduated from Lakeside Hospital School of Nursing, the forerunner of FPB. By 1916, the practice of pinning new graduates became a standard throughout the U.S. As nurse graduates receiving pins, you become a part of history through both the legacy of the highly respected FPB program and of the tradition of the nursing pin itself. Your graduation pin is a professional symbol that reminds everyone of your highly respected education and your bond with the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. In a commencement speech to the class of 1931, Francis Payne Bolton said, "These pins are small, but they are visible proof that there is, in the past of this school you are here to represent, a heart large enough to sacrifice individually for a more perfect whole." As you move into the months ahead, the next phase of your life and career, cherish your legacy and stay connected to FPB School of Nursing and all the friends that you have made here. Look forward to future homecoming events, career networking opportunities, and much, much more. You will receive communications from FPB and the Alumni Association, so pay attention to these updates. It is your opportunity to keep up with research and continuing education. You are entering a time-honored profession. Nurses are individuals strong enough to manage anything, yet soft enough to handle anyone. Good luck as you go forward to represent the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing, and congratulations from all of us at FPB and the Alumni Association Board.
Hello, my name is Paula Forsyth. I am the past president of the FPB Alumni Association Board. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I want to say kudos for the hard work you have all put forth into your education these past years, which culminates in this virtual pinning celebration today. Graduation is an emotional experience as it represents a life transition from student to graduate and alumni, and with that, the expectations that you have for yourself and by others. Today, you officially transition to your nurse role, fortified with the exceptional knowledge that you received at FPB and the realization that you will continue to learn and grow, but most importantly, that you are resilient and a nurse hero in today's society. If today's ceremony was the one you had anticipated and you were participating in person, the speeches would conclude and you would proceed to the malt stage with your designated family or friends. You would ascend the steps and receive a rose from Ann Farmer, and then your pin from Barbara Flowerman, both alumni who I'm sure are watching this ceremony live stream. Barbara and Ann have been part of the pinning ceremonies for many years and have had the privilege of witnessing many emotional moments. And though they are not with you in person to hand you your flower or your pin, they are here watching and witnessing the joy of your special day. You would then leave the stage, and I would be greeting you with a handshake. I would welcome you to your Alumni Association, and I would hand you a graduation gift from the Alumni Association, which this year you will be receiving in the mail. So again, congratulations. Be proud of your accomplishments and successful in your endeavors. Good luck.
Nursing is a unique profession. Our work is at once humbling and elevating. Nurses may be tempted to both think less of themselves in some areas and more highly of themselves in others. I know I am guilty of both errors. I'd like to suggest a middle way, though I'm hardly the first to do so. C.S. Lewis calls it the perspective of excellent absurdity. By this, he means doing great things humbly and little things boldly. He calls us to reject, in his words, false modesty, which is only another form of pride, as well as reminding us that if we were not there, the play would have gone off just as well without us. Nurses do not shrink from mundane tasks, nor do we shy from opportunities to use our skills at the highest level. To do either well, we must avoid positive or negative self-absorption. So how do we do that? Florence Nightingale said, "The greatest heroes are those who do their duty in the daily grind." And yet, she's known as one of England's greatest statisticians. She counted everything and drew conclusions from her data, pioneering evidence-based practice in the medical professions. She embraced the daily grind and she is remembered because she carried out the mundane tasks at the highest level of excellence and with the greatest degree of devotion to those she served. Upon graduation, some nurses think less of themselves than they might. That is not humility, but a faulty image of our high calling and profession. Our calling as nurses is to walk humbly through difficult and sometimes unacceptable, even disgusting circumstances, but still to act boldly. Perhaps you'll allow me a brief illustration. There I was, in the final hour of my shift, working with a patient who was in pain and particularly disgruntled as a result. This patient decided to share some of his saliva with me directly. He spit on me several times. I was disgusted and frustrated, but it was heartening to me when the police officer, who was also in the room, casually said to the patient, "You know, that's battery on a nurse, which in the state of Ohio is a 5th-degree felony." So, I was literally spit on in the line of duty. In that, I'm sure I'm not alone. But it was nice to know that the law in Ohio honors our profession, which I'm sure you're all well aware of. The point is that in this business, there is a splash zone, and we are in it. In literally hundreds of moments like these, it will be important to embrace the excellent absurdity of our profession. We are neither too great to be spat upon, nor so insignificant to be helpful in some of life's most intimate, difficult, and beautiful moments, from the birth of a baby to the death of a parent, or from a life-altering diagnosis to a life-saving surgery. So, whether you are answering one patient's call light for the 20th time or impacting millions through policy design and promotion, you are still serving people. I charge each one here to work in bold confidence and true humility. It's what we do. We are nurses.
Hello, I'm Christy Borkin, Registrar of the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. In past pinning celebrations, we would call up graduates receiving pins and their pinners. Pinners are the people selected by each graduate to represent the great significance they had in helping the graduate achieve their goals. This semester, like the last few, we will present a photo of the graduate and their pinners. This is a very special moment in their lives. If those of you watching want to share a word of congratulations, a chat box is available on your screen. Feel free to type in your words of support. Rayhana Al-Mutari, MSN, pinned by Nadir, Iyad, Joad, and Jenna, husband and children. Badr Al-Rashidi, PhD, pinned by Ronald Hickman and Nicholas Schultz, faculty. Hind Al-Sabdi, MSN, pinned by Awad and Shaden Al-Khairi and Mary Franklin, husband, daughter, and faculty. Ketney Aristide, post-MSN certificate, pinned by Evelyn Genius and Kenson Aristide, mother and brother. Barbara Brown, MSN, pinned by Shane Gamble and Puffin, significant other and cat. Zaya Maria Budd, BSN, pinned by Felicia, Daniel, and David Budd, parents and brother. Monica Chen, MSN, pinned by Judy Chen, sister. Cassandra Corder, MSN, pinned by Harry and Paula Corder, parents. Lydia Chuvalo, MSN, pinned by Stipa Chuvalo, husband. Renisha Simone Davis, MSN, pinned by Fred and Betty Davis and Brenda Davis, grandparents and mother. Catherine Ann Delaney, MSN, pinned by Beckham Amsler, husband. Ivana Evans, MSN, pinned by Nicholas Evans, Harley, and Quinn, husband and dogs. Rosalind Golston, MSN, pinned by Mr. and Mrs. Golston, parents. Elizabeth Christine Gohar, MSN, pinned by Moheb Gohar, husband. Alexander Raymond Heinley, DNP, pinned by Georgie Heinley, wife. Margaret Vu Huang, MSN, pinned by Anne Huang and Anne Vu Nguyen, mother and aunt. Kelly Kessner, MSN, pinned by Patty Prince, Brian Kessner, and Maureen Shawn, family. Taniel Kidley, MSN, pinned by N.A. and Auntie Kidley, parents. Craig Dennis King, DNP, pinned by Catherine, Lucy, Rosalie, and Elsie King, wife and children. Haley Lynn Cooner, MSN, pinned by Garrett Cooner, husband. Mark Vincent Menacci, MSN, pinned by Joe Menacci, father. Margaret O'Leary McGilligan, DNP, pinned by Robert and Robbie McGilligan, husband and son. Michael Slate Moore, MSN, pinned by Noreen Kaleshian, mother. Brittany Negrete, MSN, pinned by Alexander, Estella, and Alexander Negrete, husband and children. Patrick O'Day, MSN, pinned by Haley LeDuc and Dennis and Christy O'Day, girlfriend and parents. Carlene O'Hara, MSN, pinned by James Dinkovich, Jerome and Vicky O'Hara, husband and parents. Monica C. Reyes, MSN, pinned by Manuel Reyes, father. Melanie Brooke Rosenberg, MSN, pinned by Faith and Todd Rosenberg, parents. Kristen Ann Schultz, MSN, pinned by Carol Revelak, Tyler Schultz, Kathy and Mark Saka, Calla Lily Saka. Grandmother, husband, parents, and dog. Emily Page Silberman, MSN, pinned by Chuck and Casey Silberman and Patrick Manning, parents and boyfriend. Nathaniel John Sokol, MSN, pinned by Carol Savran, faculty. John Stephen Sweetco, PhD, pinned by John Sweetco, father. Laureen Mary Tavalero Riley, DNP, pinned by Carol Moriarty, colleague. Connor Patrick Voiles, MSN, pinned by Ilona Cook, fiance. Kayla Ann Wolf, MSN, pinned by Corey, Carl, and Lisa Wolf, and Jesse Chug, brother, parents, and boyfriend. Justina Wong, MSN, pinned by Cameron Forbes, boyfriend. Yi Fan Stella Zhang, MSN, pinned by Dong Zhang and Leland Fang, Dennis Lin, Dumpling and Bum Bum, parents, boyfriend, and cats. With appreciation to all FPB alumni who have donated so much to support our students' education throughout our years here, I present these individuals to you, requesting your recommendation to the Alumni Association of the Frances Payne Bolton School of Nursing for inclusion of our class to its membership.
Thank you, Christy. I accept your request and heartily recommend to the President of the Alumni Association, Erica Chung, that each of you be accepted for membership pending completion of all necessary academic requirements.
Thank you, Dean Musil. On behalf of the officers and the entire board of directors on the Frances Payne Bolton School of Nursing's Alumni Association Board, I am proud to declare these graduating students as valued members of the FPB Alumni Association with all the rights and privileges granted therein.
On behalf of the Frances Payne Bolton School of Nursing at Case Western Reserve University, best wishes to all of you. We look forward to your many accomplishments as FPB alumni. Congratulations. I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to our alumni volunteers and our student services and alumni relations staff who work together to facilitate today's ceremony. Though you were not able to receive a program to keep as a memento of today, the program is posted online so that you can print it for yourself or send the link to share with your family and friends. Thank you for participating in this very special virtual celebration. We at the Frances Payne Bolton School of Nursing are grateful for your support and humbled by your service. Congratulations and best wishes to all.